Our next guest brings deep knowledge and a passion for teaching to his role at FAMU College of Law. As a professor of law, he's helping students unlock one of the most complex and vital areas of legal practice. Please welcome Professor Darryl Jones. So good to have you, Professor Jones.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So the life of a professor, tell us how you arrived and what was your path like to become a professor?
Well, I've always been sort of bookish, and when I graduated from law school, I owed the Army 4 years of my life because they gave me an undergraduate scholarship. So I went into the Army JAG Corps, and one day, this was before really the onset of electronic tax filing, and the federal government was using some of the larger federal departments as sort of beta testing for the electronic tax filing, and they offered it to soldiers. The catch was that they needed to have either a tax person or an attorney in charge of the Army's electronic tax filing program. And it wasn't just filing tax returns, it was also advising soldiers on their tax returns. And on occasion, you might have a halfway senior officer come in with some business interests that they needed advice on and how to file their income tax returns or claim whatever exemptions or special privileges they could claim. And so I was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and that was about 45, 50 miles from Vanderbilt Law School. And whenever I got a really complicated tax case, I mean, I hardly knew anything about it because I only took one tax course as a JD student. And but I would go to Vanderbilt Law Library and kind of do my little amateur research, and that's how I sort of fell in love with tax law.
Wow, fell in love, those are strong words for tax. And I don't think I've ever taken a tax law course,
You don't know what
but
you're
I'm
missing.
impressed that there's love. Wow. That's pretty fascinating. So tax law, how do you make this fun and approachable for your students?
Great question. It's a lot easier with technology. Like if the president or the Democrats propose some tax policy, the information, the proposal, the bill is available almost in real time. So if they file a bill on Monday, I can usually pull the bill down. And usually there's a lot of politics that go along, there's a lot of political posturing by either side that go along with tax law. So I can go to the webpage and pull down their press releases. I can download their press conferences where they're advocating for tax law. And it gives tax law more life than just rules in the statute. It helps students understand the alleged or the political motivations behind, the tax law. I mean, the tax law is never just about raising money for the government. There's always some political motive behind it. There's always some competition between rich and poor, and it's easier to get the students engaged because we have almost real-time news.
It seems like it can be very subjective sometimes too.
Oh, definitely.
And how you frame it, is it a write-off or not, or is it,
That's right. That's exactly right.
The theater.
My students usually come to class thinking that this is a sort of a semi-math class, but it's much more an English class. Bad English, but it's an English class, right? I mean, and at least from the legal side, lawyers typically try to manipulate the language of the tax code so that their clients pay the least amount of taxes.
Right.
And the courts think that's a legitimate purpose, but it's really much more syntax and semantics and language than it is crunching numbers.
Okay. And the way you got into this particular space was non-traditional. And so what do you tell your students about finding their place?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can almost do anything, any type of law within tax law, right? Because taxes are the one thing that apply to every single person in the country, every single industry, every single state and federal government. Taxes apply. And so I tell my students, you can practice almost any type of law you want to. You can do environmental law and be it from a tax standpoint. You can do personal injury, family law. I do nonprofit organizations because they're treated under the tax code as tax exempt organizations. And everybody knows that the president and the Republican Party right now are really at war with nonprofit organizations. So there's and that brings in constitutional law, contract law, administrative law. So tax is sort of a, in my opinion, I try to convince them of this. It's a bridge to a whole lot of other practices. It's not number crunching. I mean, look, there's a profession, usually accountants, that do mostly number crunching. They report transactions. Lawyers plan the transactions ahead of time to get the best outcome. And they do it through the manipulation of the English in the tax code.
Spoken like a true professor, because that clicked for me. Thank you, Professor. Thank you for spending time with us today.
I'm very happy to have done so. Thank you.
Professor Jones proves that great teaching can demystify even the most complex legal topics. We appreciate his insight and service.